Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I managed to finally break through from Gold 3 into Platinum 1. It can be very frustrating when you get stuck in that position, as I have been for a while, but today I'm going to be sharing with you the things that I did and adapted to my Rocket League gameplay to make sure I could finally break through into that Platinum position. If this video does help you, please let me know in the comments and drop a like. And if you want to see more Rocket League content from me, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. Aside from that, it is now time to get into the tips, so let's go. Alright, so my first tip for you, although it may be obvious, is do a little warm up before going into your ranked games, because if you lose just because, you miss an aerial because you haven't been on PlayStation or your Xbox in a while, that would be pretty bad and it's not going to help you get to Platinum. So the training pack I like to do is the Gold to Platinum training pack. You can see it on screen here. So yeah, if you find that, that's the one I like to do, but you can do any really. It's just to warm up and get back into the swing of things. The footage of me doing this training pack on screen right now is actually the recording of when I got into Platinum. So as you can see, I didn't even get 100% on that training pack, but then I went ahead and got into Platinum. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to do everything perfect. It's more about warming up and getting used to doing things like aerials again before you go into a match. Alright, so my second tip for you guys is to actually play your ranked games with a friend or with two friends so you can communicate better and have better comms. It doesn't even have to be like a friend that you know and in a party with, but if you just find someone in a game that seems good and is happy to party up and you kind of play well together, then feel free to play with them, because that's exactly what I did. You'll see it later on in the gameplay, but yeah, because we played well together, we partied up and then just played with one randomer and it worked pretty well. We ended up going all the way through gold rank into platinum rank together, so that was pretty cool. But now I'm going to get into the third tip for you guys, and that is to always do the opposite of what your teammates are doing. Again, this is not going to apply to you if you're trying to rank up in ones. It will for twos definitely, and for threes definitely, as you can see here. But basically, if you've got two teammates that are very aggressive, very attacking, just defend, even if they aren't the best at like shooting or aerials or whatever. If you go up as well and there's no one back, you're just gonna end up losing against any decent opponents. So you've always got to look at what they're doing and kind of do the other thing. If your teammates are very defensive, then you have to obviously attack more. So yeah, it depends what type of teammates you get, but basically the third tip is just have good positioning for your teammates' playstyle. And now going on to the fourth tip, it is to get good at aerials, or get used to going up for aerials anyway, because once you get into platinum, basically the ball goes into the air quite a lot in gold anyway, and someone's always going to go up for it. So if your opponent is going up for it, you need to also go up for it and challenge most of the time. Obviously not always, because it depends on your position on the pitch, but try to challenge for it if you can, so they don't just have a free shot, because if they're good at aerials, they might be able to shoot or get the ball into a bad position for you. Also, if there's no one going for the ball and you're in the position to go for it, then 100% go for it. This is why learning aerials is important, and also it is important to have teammates that can also aerial, because if you have a team that's strong in the air, when the ball goes up, you'll probably win it most of the time. That's also why I picked the teammates that I did have to play with, because they were just good in the air and we kind of worked together with our playstats. Now moving on to my fifth tip, this is going to be to try and avoid double committing as much as possible. Again, I know this might seem obvious, but you'll find yourself so many times just going in for a ball that you shouldn't be going in for. You need to just try and stop doing this as much as possible. Again, if you're talking to your teammates, you can also communicate with them who's going to go to the ball so this doesn't happen. But yeah, if you are still doing this, you need to stop it. If someone else is going for the ball in your team, do not go for it, because you know, it's just silly. And now going on to the 6th tip, it is going to be to learn to do good kickoffs. This can help you a lot. I didn't really learn this much. I just tried to concentrate on hitting the ball towards their goal, and my tactic, my way of doing it seemed to work alright. So I never got into learning speed flips or anything, but you can do that. I've got a friend who mainly plays ones, and he went from like gold to, I think he's almost like diamond or something. And the biggest thing I think that helped him is learning like speed flip or something, because he's always winning the kickoffs. Whenever I play with him, he always wins them 100%. So if you can learn to do that, that'll 100% put you at an advantage against your opposition. And now the 7th tip that we are getting into is to learn a half flip. I honestly hardly do this in games. I've still not got to doing it, but I have learned it, and I am trying to use it more to help me in bad situations in game. Basically, if you catch yourself where the ball is going over you, the quickest way to turn is to do a half flip. I've done a video on this which will come up right now, and I'll link it also at the end of the video for you. So if you want to watch my video on that to learn how to do it, you can, or you can just search it into YouTube and a bunch of videos will come up on learning the half flip. So I definitely recommend learning that. Now moving on to the 8th tip, that is going to be to practice basic shots, because you can learn all these fancy aerial shots and stuff that, you know, you might be able to hit now and again, but what you really need to be doing is perfecting the easy shots that are like open net, or like just generally easy shots that you should be scoring, because if you can always be scoring them when the opportunity comes your way, this will definitely help you, because so many times you see it where teammates or sometimes yourself just misses easy opportunities that you should be putting away, which does not help you in winning games and getting to the next higher division. But now moving on to the 9th tip, it is going to be boost management, and this might seem like a simple thing, but honestly it can really help you, because most people when they play Rocket League they go for the big boost pads, but that can put you in a really bad position to get in the ball. You can have to go out your way to where you need to be. So what it is better to do is learn the layout of the smaller pads on the pitch, so that on your way over there you could go out your way only a tiny bit to manage to get a couple pads to help you get around the map faster and do things like aerials. So obviously if you are close to a big pad, then just go for it, get the big corner boosts. But if it puts you out your way a lot, try and just get the smaller pads, and that should help you do better. And now for the final tip of the video, number 10, it is going to be knowing when to hit the ball and when you should not. Just because the ball is there for you to go and hit does not always mean you should go and whack it, because sometimes you hit the ball away from your goal, but you hit it against the side, which lands at your opponent's car, and they are then in a good position to score. You've got to learn when to hit it and where to hit it to. When you're playing it towards their goal, a lot of people try and run it round into their corner and like put it up over their goal. Most of the time it just goes over their goal completely onto the other side. So what is better to do is hit it into the corner, and then it might bounce around into their goal. If they hit it out, then you are there to hit it back in. So this might give you a few goes at their goal, and you also keep the ball from going back into your half and giving them an opportunity to score. So knowing when and where to hit the ball is very important. I'm not going to go over it loads now, but there might be a video out there on YouTube which will help you a bit more on this. Do not use my gameplay for this, because honestly I do stuff like this wrong all the time. It's one of the things that I need to get better at to go further into Platinum. But if you watch professionals or better players than me, you should probably notice that they hit the ball into specific places of the pitch to give them an advantage than just whacking it anywhere and potentially giving it away to their opponents. I know I said that was the last tip, but I've just remembered something else, so this can be a bonus tip for you guys. Basically, you don't always have to go to hit the ball. Sometimes if your teammates with the ball, you can see where their players are, and you know, if one of them's in goal and could stop your teammate, sometimes just going and bumping them can cause them to not be able to save it whatsoever, or demoing them is also very good. Again, if you watch like professional players, you'll notice them doing this quite a lot for their teammates to help them. So if you can do that for your teammates when they're in a good spot, that could be pretty good. You see me do it in my gameplay a couple times. I don't do it all the time, but when I do it, it does usually work. So yeah, that's the bonus tip. But that is pretty much going to be it for this video. Once again, if it does help you, let me know in the comments and drop a like. Subscribe for more Rocket League content like this, and I'll see you in the next one, and peace.